Hi, this is Matt with State of Flux, and
Huge movie fanatic Nate, once again, filming for both channels.
yeah.
Thank you for having me on your channel again, as I'm also on my channel and you're on my channel. So this always just blows my mind. I can never figure this out. But anyway, you've got an idea.
So I just wanted to kind of pick your brain with random movie questions. This is something that I like to do in my place of work, where I'll write like a prompt on the
And your place
wall.
of work is?
I never say.
Oh, well, I mean...
a movie theater.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't expect you to say where. If you have a grudge against this guy, go to this address. I didn't mean that.
No.
A movie theater.
So, at a movie theater, I like to put a prompt on the wall for the staff to write. Something similar to, like, your last words are, "There are too many of them. What are you seeing?" And then I give people a chance to write, like, zombies, toddlers, whatever.
Okay.
So I thought it'd be fun to do that, that are all, like, cinema-based questions for you, and then I'll answer too. I have a list that I created for myself, and then I have some that from a list that I haven't read yet. So we'll get both authentic reactions. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this video, but you already clicked on it, so you know.
What's great about this is I have no idea what the hell's going on, so go
All
for
right.
it.
Question number one. Is there a movie that you would like to unsee or wish you could unsee?
Oh God, that'd probably be something I'd have to think about. But I'll just answer it with me and Beth for the last several years. We saw this on Tubi years ago, and this has been, until I revisited Star Odyssey, again with Keith and Beth at a fire, a movie by the name of... you might have to cut this part. I partly have gotten rid of it. I partly have. Doom Asylum comes to mind.
Doom Asylum.
From the, I think, late 80s. Yes, it's like low budget. They, as Beth always likes to say, they pretty much spent all the money on their gore effects, and everything else is just ridiculous. And actually, probably to pad the running time, throughout the course of the movie, they showed some guy watching a TV, and then they literally cut to this probably public domain old horror movie from the 1930s just to pad the running time. I'd say that's the first one that comes to mind, Doom Asylum.
I mean, there's two ways to interpret this question. Number one, the way that I originally interpreted this question, which is like, what's a movie so bad you just wish you could just eternal sunshine it from your brain? And mine, I guess, would be like... maybe A Human Centipede.
That's what I was just thinking.
That said, that movie shaped me in such a way that it formed the idea and notion that like I don't have to see every movie ever made. Like there are movies to like just let go.
By the way, did you ever see? Was there a third one?
I never saw the third one. The second one I quit on.
Congratulations, because back then you were like, if there's a third one, I have to see it.
Yeah, no, the second movie is what broke.
By the way, on Huge Movie Fanatics channel, I think one of the best reviews you've ever done is The Human Centipede. You do review it, and it's like perfect weather. We're outdoors, and it's like raining out in the background. Huge Movie Fanatics channel, his review of Human Centipede. Is it both of them? You reviewed, I think, both of them.
I probably did. I hated that set. Like, the first one was the worst movie I'd seen.
That review...
The second one eclipsed it.
His review of those two movies, I'm pretty sure he did both of them, is so funny. And then my disbelief of
I'll see if I can link that down below.
Yeah, feel free to do so. Huge Movie Fanatics, Huge Movie Fanatics, Human Centipede. I was just like, I didn't know anything about them, so you're both just like it was like a therapy for you and a learning experience for me. Like, what the hell are these movies? What?
Yeah,
what?
It was awful.
So anyway.
The other way to interpret this question is a movie that you'd like to see again for the first time.
Oh, there you go. A positive way to...
A positive way to spin this question, and that's why I kind of like it. So, because you also kind of see where a person's mind goes first. So, is there a movie that you wish that you could just come to the first time?
I mean, I guess these questions, are ones that I'd probably have to ponder, but the thing that came to mind was like Sleepaway Camp, to see the ending again.
Yeah, I suppose.
For the first time.
That ending is, like, iconic. I guess my answer for that one is my favorite movie, which is Serenity. It has a couple of, like, big dramatic moments within the film that resonated with me so hard the first time I saw it that literally blew my mind. So, that's probably my answer for that. Okay. Next one. A movie. Oh wait, no, sorry. What do you think is the best movie of this decade so far? We're only 4 years in, and you're not one to see a lot of new movies, but I always like to ask this question.
Without a doubt, I just recently saw it and reviewed it. In a Violent Nature.
Oh, interesting, fascinating.
It's right up my alley. Out in the woods, killing assholes.
Fair enough. I have not seen that one yet. I would like to.
Briefly, my reviews on... Well, actually, I don't know when the hell I'm uploading this. It might be before my review's up. I don't know. But very briefly, takes a tried and true, been done a bazillion times premise and does it in a completely, like, just tips it this way and does it its own way. And it's like, wow, the same tried and true thing is like so interesting, done this different, just slightly tweaked and done this different way.
That there's something appealing to that. I've heard good things about that movie. I do want to see that one. My answer is triple R. R. All right. Let's see here. The next one that I like to do for people is what movie would be better if you remade it with Muppets?
Oh, Jesus. I'm not sure I'm a good person to ask this question.
Are you not a Muppet guy?
Not a Muppet guy.
Interesting.
I
Fair
actually,
enough.
since this is Huge Movie Fanatics, I'm not going to name the title, but you were in a movie of mine. We just...
Oh, you can name it. That's perfect.
No, I don't for certain reasons, because
Okay.
there might be people that hate me because of my views on movies, so it's
Gotcha.
protecting myself.
Gotcha.
But you were in some people on my channel have seen it, so they know what we're talking about. But you were gracious enough to be in a movie of mine it was like 15 years ago. And actually, I had the idea while I was writing it to have a cop, because I was out shopping and we actually saw a cop puppet. And I thought, how cool, instead of trying to get a cop uniform, the cop could actually just be a puppet. And no one would say anything about, like, you're a puppet.
That would
just
have been
be a puppet.
absolutely genius. I don't know why.
Thank you.
I think that would make my life.
I thought about it really hard, because I can't afford a cop uniform, but I can afford a cop puppet. And it would never be mentioned that he's a puppet. It'd just be normal dialogue, normal whatever. Oh.
I think there's a level of genius to that is
Thank you.
untapped. Right.
But that's my best answer. I'm not a big Muppet guy, so I don't know if I've got an answer for that question.
Fair enough. I'll save my answer for that for some other time.
Oh, really? Okay.
All right, so this is a thing called Ask Me About Movies. So I'm just going to hit you. I'm not going to hit all of these ones because
you're not going to physically hit me.
some of them are repetitive. I've only read like the first couple. Do you have a top 3 movies ever, or name 3 movies that are your like gold standard?
You know what? I mean, 2001. 2001: A Space Odyssey used to be on that list. I mean, I still think it's an absolutely great movie. But as I'm getting older, it's like I just long for something so much more simple. Friday the 13th, the original from 1980, is so high. That might be my favorite movie. For years and years and years, I used to, as a movie fan, I used to say, there's so many movies, how can you have a favorite? But Friday the 13th, if it's not my favorite movie, which it very well might be, it's definitely on the top 3. Do you want another 2?
Yeah.
Meatballs. I absolutely love Meatballs from '79. Interestingly enough, it's like a year before Friday the 13th. It's Paramount. It's summer camp.
Right.
It's a different version of summer camp. It's a family movie. Beautiful, almost tear-jerking music by, of course, I forgot his name, but the guy who did the music for Ghostbusters and
Oh crap! I don't remember.
Saturn III. Elmer Bernstein.
There we go. Bernstein.
Beautiful music. I don't know if I've got a third on the top of my head.
I mean, you mentioned 2001, so at least
Yeah, that could be. We'll just call that the third for right now.
Mine would be Serenity, Scream, and probably Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan is really like
interesting. So Aliens is Aliens 4?
It would probably
5?
Probably 4 or 5.
Aliens,
yeah.
formerly his favorite.
Yeah, it's still the one that I would see like repeatedly. If anybody's like, you want to watch Aliens, I'd be like, yes. All right. Do you have a least favorite movie of all time? Like a movie that you're just like, fuck that movie.
Yeah, I mean, that I'm just mad about its existence?
Yeah, either something like that. I guess that's a certain way to interpret the question.
So many of these are going to have to give me a while, but I mean, I don't know if anything comes to mine. I generally don't walk around just with things I hate on the tip of my tongue.
I mean, like Human Centipede 2 is my answer. We already mentioned it.
God, I don't think I got a good. Yeah, I don't live like,
That's fine.
walking around with hate on my mind, so I can't answer it.
All right, a movie that you would like to live in. Is there?
Well, I'd probably have to go back to, like Meatballs. I mean, just
I'm
eternal.
glad you didn't say Friday the 13th.
I was gonna.
Meatballs is like a softer
yeah,
choice.
I was gonna say, Friday. I'd like to live in that environment before, maybe the day before, June 12th.
June 12th?
At Camp Crystal Lake. But yeah, maybe Meatballs. It's just such a great location, frickin' summer camp. Just, throw your cares to the wind, beautiful women, beautiful weather, lake, and just late 70s.
I guess it'd be cool to be in a Star War.
It'd be cool to be fighting for your life in a star.
Yeah, I guess Star Trek is safer. Let's go with Star Trek. Star Trek.
A bigger ship.
Like the level of laziness that I have, I think Star Trek would suit me well.
Yes.
Like just transport.
Because you wouldn't be well suited to like constantly be repairing your starship.
No, not at all. I'd be working at the gas station in like Mos Eisley.
Okay.
All right. Character you want to meet. Is there a film character that you would like to meet? I have an answer immediately.
Well, I suppose, Daisy from Super Mario Brothers from 1993. When I saw that in the theater, we went with Keith and his girlfriend and a bunch of her girlfriends. We were supposed to go see Indian Summer, but it wasn't the wrong showtime, and so we ended up seeing Super Mario Brothers. I didn't intend to see that in the theater. We saw Super Mario Brothers.
I'm a fan of that movie, and I didn't see it in the theater.
I was blown away. I was like, holy shit, this is all. I love Super Mario Brothers. I think the energy of that movie and the score, Alan Silvestri,
I actually like that movie.
The energy is so awesome, and it was the first movie I saw with Samantha Mathis, and oh my God, that's where my several-year love affair started. And incidentally,
she's awesome.
Recently I sent her an email on what the hell's the name of that Cameo.
Oh yeah.
And she didn't respond. So, but I'm old enough where I don't give a shit. So
There's still time.
She's old. I'm old. Who the hell cares? But I'd probably want to meet Samantha Mathis in Super Mario Bros. Talk about gorgeous in that movie.
She is.
And incidentally, I did a review. If you want to see my review on my channel, but incidentally,
I'm totally watching it.
Thank you very much. She's gorgeous before she's got the stupid makeup on and before she's got the dress on. After she's the prince, whatever, they put her in the outfit and lipstick. Yeah. Just gorgeous as the college student or whatever the hell she is with her boots and no makeup.
I feel that. I didn't pick a female. I guess the character I would want to meet is Randy Meeks from Scream and Scream 2. Like, I just want to have a conversation with that dude. I feel like I'd get on really well.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
He's my boy.
You absolutely would.
Let's see. We already did this one last time. Cinema or streaming, so you can watch that video. Favorite foreign film. Do you have a favorite foreign film?
Oh, I got a lot of favorite foreign films. I don't know if if anything comes to mind. I don't necessarily watch a whole lot of them. I was going through a snobs part in my life in the 90s when I was like in my teens and early 20s. The thing that comes to mind is like Repulsion. I love Repulsion.
Oh yeah.
And I actually got to see that at a theater, like probably a closed theater now, in Minneapolis, and Repulsion. I mean, that's the first thing that came to mind. I really kind of like your thing about movies that you hate. I kind of don't have foreign movies much on my mind these days, but if you were to, once again, if I had time to think about, a lot of the early Hitchcock before he came to America is fun too. Yeah. For a while there, I had HBO Max, and now it's just Max or whatever. It turns out, I was wondering why, like, his movie, he did, was it Sabotage? I think, from 38 or something like that. And I was like, why isn't there a Criterion Blu-ray of that? Turns out, I think there's a Criterion scan on Max, or at least there was when I saw it, and I'm like, put that on Blu-ray. I love Sabotage. I don't know if you've seen it. It's got
a long time ago.
Yeah. So like the Hitchcock, before he came, his British stuff before he came to America. there's a lot of that's a question I need to think about. But yeah, well, that can be my answer.
I'm gonna give you three. I'm gonna go with The Virgin Spring, which I think is a phenomenal movie. Wes Craven remade it as Last House on the Left, which I also like. But clearly, The Virgin Spring is the better of the two. The Hero with Jet Li is a movie that brings me to tears every single time I see it. It is such beauty in an action movie. And then Triple R. I love the fuck out of that movie.
I've only seen I think I've only seen maybe two Fellini movies, 8.5, and I don't know how it's pronounced, but the AmeriCorps or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I really like the AmeriCorps, however the hell you pronounce it, because
I haven't seen that.
Oh, that one's really great, and it's kind of. I think it's throughout the course of a year, in Italy or whatever, and I think it's like the 30s.
Yeah.
I think it's the 30s because like Mussolini or whatever
Yeah.
is kind of whatever, but it's kind of like, I guess it's maybe a little bit taken from Fellini's youth or growing up and stuff, and kind of. I think that's a really beautiful movie, and the music by Nino Rota, the guy who go on. He probably did a lot of Fellini stuff, but he did the Godfather theme and all this kind of stuff. The music for that movie, like the AmeriCorps, forgive me, I don't know how to pronounce it, but the music is really beautiful.
Interesting. Okay.
So that would probably be up there. However the hell you say it, AmeriCorps for Fellini.
I'm curious what your answer is on this one.
Okay.
The movie with the prettiest visuals.
By pretty, what do we mean pretty?
That's
Super
just what
Mario
it says.
Brothers.
I'm taking it to mean like
how do you
set to design, or like maybe
pretty. Is that how it's worded?
That's literally what it says. The movie with prettiest visuals.
I don't know if that's the right word. Pretty. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Well, Meatballs. I mean, I love the summer camp location.
Okay. I'm gonna parrot what I said with Hero, but then I think I really liked the sort of beauty of Akira Kurosawa's Dreams. The Vincent Van Gogh segment of that movie is really great.
Haven't seen it.
Is good. Or like Kagemusha is a movie I don't really like that much, but visually he captures like this dream world that is quite pretty. Okay, best movie soundtrack.
Oh god dang. Well, I love what Harry Manfredini did in Friday the 13th. To me, it's like it's beyond iconic, and it's something I own in several incarnations of it. When they started to finally put it out in whatever 2012 or whatever. There'd be a lot for this. I'll give you some of the ones I can think of. Rocketeer, James Horner.
Okay.
Oh my God. A lot of James Horner stuff is great.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to mention Star Trek 2.
Star Trek 2 and 3, I mean...
Yeah.
It was kind of a bummer going from 2 James Horners to then that one guy in Star Trek 4.
I've grown to like the Star Trek 4 score, but it's nowhere near as good. None of the Star Trek movies ever got as good as those two. Score-wise.
Yeah, he has this youthfulness, or I think that's a good word, youthfulness in his music that is so like heroic and but Rocketeer is way up there. And luckily, I think it was maybe in 2020 or something, you can actually listen to it on Apple Music and maybe download it somewhere. They put out a super limited, it's super expensive CD, but you can do digital. The complete the complete Rocketeer soundtrack with every cue instead of this abbreviated CD they put out in '91.
I guess I would say maybe E.T. or the Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban has just every single score.
You know what else I love? Is Carrie. Pino Donaggio, or however, that's another last name I can't pronounce, an Italian guy, but some of the themes in Carrie are so beautiful.
Yeah,
I love like that guy's music, by the way. The Pino Donaggio, I'll just say.
Okay.
Apologies.
Do you have one that's like more music, non-score, like a soundtrack?
With songs?
Like with songs.
Not so much, I guess. What about you?
People laugh at it, but Scream.
I was going to say that.
I have that soundtrack. I listen to it relatively often. Mortal Kombat and then American Graffiti, I think, are like the three
Okay,
best.
yeah.
Like, just slap on a CD.
Now, do you have the Scream CD or is it a digital?
CD.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this has come up way before, way in the past before, because I want that, and
Yeah.
feel free to rip it and give.
I don't have like a disk drive in like my
Oh,
computers or anything.
now don't
Yeah.
have disk
I
drives.
can see if I can lend it to you though.
You know what? I can probably get it. I don't want to. It's not. I don't want to make it his responsibility to get it to me. So
I bought it for $20 on Amazon like 15 years ago. But I that was because I wore out the cassette tape as
Okay.
there.
Who knows? I don't think I've ever looked. I should just look on Apple Music or whatever. But yeah, I don't want to give you any more responsibility than you already got. But I appreciate the offer.
All
Anyway,
right.
Scream. That's an elusive CD because like you can always find like 2 and 3,
Yeah.
but you can never find the first one.
1 and 2, I love those soundtracks. I also like the soundtrack for number 4. All right, let's see. Do you have a popular movie that you hate?
What do you mean? A popular culture movie?
Yeah,
that I hate?
like a
Well,
movie
I
that's
mean,
very
where
popular.
do I begin? I mean,
I suppose, yeah.
yeah.
This is,
I mean, I don't know if I'd say I hate Titanic, but you know.
Titanic's great, but keep going. This is a
Well,
good example.
Titanic is a situation where like I can recognize why it was so popular, but at the same time it's like get the fuck out of here, kind of a thing. So maybe that's a good movie. Can I say that on the channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like fuck off, piss off. Titanic is like, you were so successful, piss off.
I don't share that sentiment for Titanic. Mine would be Zack Snyder's Justice League,
Well,
specifically
okay.
Zack Snyder's. All right, best plot twist.
Oh. Yeah, that'd probably be one I'd have to think about. Why don't you? Do you want to give me yours, and I'll see if I can think of anything?
I will. Yeah, I'll say like a couple.
Oh,
Let's hear it.
something we saw recently. Oh, I don't know if it came out in 2016 or something. You Better Watch Out. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah. That did have a great plot twist. I'm not going to spoil that for you here.
Me either.
But it is a great plot
And
twist.
that's one. Don't watch the trailer because I think they ruined.
Did they
the plot.
ruin the trailer?
Yes.
I saw that. Like I blind rented it out of Redbox. We'll touch on that.
Oh
maybe
yeah,
in a
that's
later
another
video.
Yeah.
But I blind rented it at Redbox because it had come out that day, and the movie I actually wanted to see wasn't there, and I'm so glad I did. It was so good.
Do not see the trailer first.
Okay.
That is a complete crime because after we saw it, I watched the trailer. Like, I hope they don't, and they do. I couldn't believe it.
That's ridiculous.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, I really liked that one. I think the most famous movie twist and probably the best one is I Am Your Father, The Empire Strikes Back. But I think Usual Suspects and the first Scream, and I guess Sixth Sense, all have pretty great, like, whoa plot twists.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't think any of these ones are particularly fun. Best film death.
Best film death? You mean
Yeah.
death in a film?
The best death in a film.
You
I
know
have
what?
two immediate answers, but let's hear
Yeah,
yours.
I suppose just because I saw it recently, there's a pretty memorable one in A Violent Nature, which
Okay.
made me laugh, giggle, and I had fun with. That a kill that you think is over, and it's like, nope, it's not over yet. So that made me giggle with glee. So that's something kind of like I don't keep on the tip of my head deaths in movies either. So, but that's the first thing that came to mind.
I'm gonna give you three answers again because that's apparently my number of the day. I think one of the most memorable film deaths of all time is Deep Blue Sea.
Okay, I haven't seen it forever.
Sam Jackson in that movie is the main character for the first 3/4 of the movie, and then he's doing this big heroic speech, and the music is swelling and growing and building, and then out of nowhere, a clearly digital shark just jumps out and eats the hell out of that guy, and
I remember that.
it was absolutely jaw-dropping when it happened, and I uncomfortably laughed and was captivated for the rest of the movie because that they completely stole away what I my comfort zone. You know what I mean?
Would you have seen that in the theater or home video?
I rented that
Oh,
one.
you
I
said-
wanted to see it in the theater, and it just never happened. My dad and I, it got good reviews too. I don't know why we didn't end up seeing that one, but for whatever reason, it didn't happen. But that one, it was so good, and I like that movie quite a bit. I think it's the best shark movie that isn't Jaws. But that is a good propeller as to why that is. Randy in Scream 2 was a genuine, touchstone in my life because I remember, literally grieving after he died.
Matt, we were gonna go out to dinner with Matt, but he's in the bathroom sobbing.
I didn't cry or anything, but I was just like, holy crap. And it was in a completely different way than Deep Blue Sea did. It was a moment in the movie that shaped me. It told the audience, hey, any of these main characters can die. It made it a visceral slasher and whatnot, and but those characters were very real to me, and he was the one I related to, so it was just like a holy shit moment. And it's such a great scene too that leads up to his death. And then
I just laughing at the guys rapping by the van afterwards.
Yeah,
maybe
that's the only part that doesn't work.
The part, the lead up is good, but I was just thinking of the end, maybe the aftermath isn't so great.
The only thing that I don't love about that is the boombox guy, but other than that, everything is about that works so well.
Okay.
And then Serenity has a pretty shocking death moment in that I don't want to spoil if you haven't seen the movie. All I'll say is a leaf on the wind. Alright, and then I figure let's do the last question for you is favorite movie poster.
Oh, well, I happen to have it right here. I think that's one of the most iconic movie posters across genres. I'm not even talking about horror. One of the most iconic. You can see the whole thing in Matt's video. You got a lot of space above our heads, but check out Matt's video to see the whole thing. But you probably know what it is. That's probably my favorite movie poster right there, and we actually had a discussion before we started rolling, and you kind of agree. Well, maybe not favorite, but you think it's up there.
It's definitely one of my favorite posters. Independent of how I feel about the movie or whatever, I think this is one of the best posters I have ever seen for a movie. It offers that bit of mystery. It's quite genuinely pretty, but then haunting, and it's a great poster. That is one of the ones that I think of when I think of great movie posters, as well as I like Scream, the original poster of just the hand over the mouth,
which
and
is
then her dead eyes.
I don't know when the last time we saw that was. They got to redesign covers and stuff.
Yeah, I wish they would just keep that original poster. I think that one is pretty fantastic. And then, I guess for modern posters, I really liked the teaser poster for The Last Jedi that had Luke's face, and then off-centered was Kylo Ren, and then in the bottom you saw Rey holding up a sword. That's quite good.
You mean saber?
That's a saber.
A sword.
And that takes me back
Light
to
sword.
the original Star Wars, which I think might be my all-time
Or what
favorite
about
one.
Jaws poster?
Jaws had a great poster too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that original Star Wars poster is something else. So.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. I hope you got to know a little bit about us and got you thinking. Let me know if you have any answers for these questions down below. I'd love to hear any and all of your answers.
And that goes for people watching on my channel as well, everyone.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Peace.
Catch you next time.